Okay, okay. Hello, 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 hello. Bit of a late start today, but I am trying to shift the schedule for this back from 1 to 5 p.m. my time to 2 to 6. I was just encountering a lot of people coming into the stream towards the end, right when I was sort of finishing up. So I want to just shift things a little bit that way to hopefully catch a few more of those people. I got some great raids last week, which was nice to see from some other cool development projects that I've now been following. But yeah, back to Dystopika. Had a lovely weekend here in Bali. Mostly at home, actually. I'm becoming a bit of a homebody. Just while I'm in the depths of trying to finish up the demo for Steam Next Fest. And actually, let's just flip over to the Dystopika tab here. So yeah, it's Monday. Monday, I like to do a bit of project management just to sort of gather my thoughts for the week ahead. Think about what's important to do, what's not important to do, and just make sure I'm celebrating the stuff I got done last week, making sure I'm moving those cards across. It is a solo project, so here it is a bit overkill, but I actually quite like it because I'm pretty comfortable with it. And this is going to be a busy week. This is sort of a last full week of work before the holidays. We're going to head out to the Gili Islands for a few days, which will be nice. And then we're looking at some stuff to do for New Year's, which will also be nice. And yeah, that sort of means there's about 2 or 3 weeks left before this demo needs to be generally kind of locked in. So yeah, got some work to do. Got lots of art to implement. The new tooling is coming along nicely. The demo structure is kind of coming together, and I probably want to do a bit of design around that today. And yeah, it's getting close. So hoping to have the demo together mid-January so we can start sending out demo stuff for influencers and stuff. And the actual, what is the actual date of Next Fest? This is probably something I should know off the top of my head. February 2024. Monday, February 5th. So yeah, lots to do in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So let's dive in and let's do some Jira shenanigans. So as I mentioned, I use Jira to organize things, even my own personal projects. I'm fairly comfortable with Jira. I think it's a good tool. A lot of people don't think it's a good tool. A lot of like programmer types kind of hate it. And I disagree with it. It's a tool. It can sort of do a lot of things. It can be shaped into whatever process you need. And I think when people say they hate Jira, they aren't actually talking about Jira itself. They're just talking about whatever process was implemented with Jira. But I think just as sort of a foundational, like agile tool, it's really useful, even for small projects. So let's move some tasks across here because I finished a lot last week. So if you were hanging out, we got the Holo Add tool partially implemented. I need to think about the other side of it, which is how to remove billboard ads. So let's just go look at that quickly because I actually don't remember exactly where I left it off last week. There were some minor bugs I know I was tackling. So this is the placeholder building. I added in a bit of like antenna generation. And I'm just testing with 2 building types here. But now I can go in and I can sort of paint where I want. Wait a minute. Is this the bug I was facing? Okay. Let's delete that tile. Make a building. Making sure just there's no billboards popping up. Switch into this. Okay, I must have just actually clicked on the building. So yeah, the idea is you can paint. I got all the undo stuff working properly, which actually ended up being a bit of a pain because of scenarios like this where you place a building and they're kind of close together and you can sort of paint them, you can accidentally paint other things, and trying to just get that all working in one command per stroke So that's all working, and I don't think there's any outstanding bugs with it. I think there was like one weird thing that was going on certain elevations, but I don't see that happening right now. Yeah, I don't see that happening. So yeah, other nice little effects, like when things get close to the ground, they'll fade away just so nothing's sort of intersecting with the ground in weird ways. I want to do a bit of work around this this glow. It's feeling a bit uniform. Like it's just one sort of pink reddish particle, and it would be nice to have it match the color of the billboard, but that's going to be a bit of a bigger task, I think. So I'm gonna add it to Jira, but I think for the sake of like where we're at now, oh man, I forgot to update my task. Hang on. Where am I doing that? Task text. To do project management Monday. So if you haven't noticed, I've also tweaked my overlays. I'm not sure if this is a little too on the nose for dystopika. Actually, let me just bring up my camera a little bit. Actually, I don't really need the light. This might be a little too on the nose. I don't know if this is going to be good for like clipping content and things, but we're gonna try it. I'm trying to make the stream stand out a little bit more on the browse page. All right, so where were we? We were updating the task. We got project management Mondays. So this all seems to be working. I can't immediately tell if there's any bugs. I do seem to remember there was something weird that I couldn't reproduce happening, but this seems to all be working pretty well. Yeah, this all seems to be working pretty well. A bit of a brush. Yeah, okay, so let's move that across and say that's done. The hollow add tool is done. The proc bit generator, so that was another thing I did this week. So the antennas are just the sort of prototype implementation of that. The idea being that when you create a building, it randomly generates some antenna on the top, and that's consistent. So when you move back and forth between different elevations, it's nice and smooth and retains it, doesn't regenerate it. We sort of want the entire tile to be consistent once it's been placed by the player. So that's all good. We also added a ton of these billboards in, so implementing a lot of the art. There's probably some refinement we need to do here, but they're looking good. I'm happy. They're pulsing slowly. Some of these might be a little bit bright, but they fall off pretty quickly. So I think we're just gonna leave that for now. So that's there, that's done. What else did I do last week? I didn't end up doing the Next Fest demo constraints. So this one, okay, so make a decision around tile collision. So this is a kind of a weird design consideration, and I think I know where I'm landing on it. So this building occupies a space, and when I move tiles around, I can make them overlap. So there was a question, should I like make it so like you can't overlap tiles, like it stops here? And then how would that work? Because there's a lot of very strange edge cases that come up in these scenarios. So for example, like if we bring these all back down to the minimum and we move all these close together, if I drag this one up, you can see like the building gets bigger as you drag it up. Like typically the base of the building needs to get bigger to support like to make these buildings look architecturally sound, they have to have a wider base to support, you know, those great elevations. So what should happen in these scenarios is, you know, like, should it push those other buildings aside? If it's, you know, more like they're really overlapping like this, could it eventually delete that tile? So I think what I've decided is to just ignore it. Like, I think letting you overlap the buildings completely allows for some, like, you can sort of craft unique building types and gives the player a bit more control. There's going to be some weird cases, like if you do this, like you have a lot of like weird intersecting billboards. That's not ideal, but it's not terrible. So I think this is a place where I'm just gonna, you know, my designer brain wants it to be a bit more refined when you do this, but I'm just going to give the player the controls, let them sort of create as they see fit, at least for the demo, and see what that feedback is. So I'm just gonna add a note on that. So decided to allow for Sup, Warner, good to see you again. Welcome back. Welcome to Project Management Mondays. Watch me try to document this thing in Jira so I can stay on track. But yeah, how are you doing? How's your weekend going? Good. Love to hear it. Working a bit. Same. Almost heading to bed. Yeah, it's not same there. It's sort of middle of the afternoon here in Bali. Getting started a bit later today. I'm trying to shift my streaming slot from like 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. to 2 to 6. Just to, I don't know, hopefully... I was getting a lot of people coming to the stream later in my afternoon, so I'm trying to shift it back a little bit and see if I can catch more of those people coming in later in the day. I used to go to sleep really late, like 5 a.m. Yeah, my sleep schedule is really messed up right now. I'm going to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning and getting up late. But yeah, I'm gonna try this new slot because I feel like a lot of my productivity is coming in like the late afternoon as well. The only downside is like I kind of like going to the beach at like 5:30 to see the sunset. So I may not be able to do that as much. But yeah, team fighting sleep schedules. I'd maybe try to go to the beach in the morning instead. The problem like I have right now is like I'm very reliant on Grab, which is like Uber out here. Like I can get like a guy with a bike in like 2 seconds, and it's very cheap. It's only like $1 or $2 if you're not going far. But I do sort of miss having a bit of independence. I really need to just get my own scooter, but I need to finish this game so I have some income. So yeah, and I think having that bike and that scooter will make it easier to sort of run around and do beaches and things. You have 30 minutes right now before you go take a shower, so I'm doing a bit of tiny progress on the prototype I'm working on. Right on. I can't remember. Did we talk about what you were working on? I think it was platformer. I don't think so, or maybe can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, like, so far it's been everyone coming in and being like, yeah, I'm working on a game prototype or something. It's hard to keep... I should start taking notes during this stream of who's working on what. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, this is what... Okay, so I was right, yeah. It's like a 2D side-scroller thing with fighting mechanics. Yeah, we talked about, like, Streets of Rage, and we might have talked about, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and, like that was a game that I played a lot growing up, like, just the side-scrolling Ninja Turtles. Beat 'em up. But yeah, you want to do more advanced fighting mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, so how's that going? How's that coming along? Your movement is fixed to one axis position, so like it's just left to right, like or left and right rather, or something else. Maybe I misunderstand the one axis. But does it still have like fighting mechanics of like jump up and down, or you wish you could put more time into it? Yeah, show me a quick video. Yeah, putting time into it is tough. I'm appreciating that I like have full time to work on this stuff right now, but I also miss having some income, and I was debating today, like, oh, should I find some work and just do this in my extra time again? But I don't know. I think I need to just take the fact I have like the full-time capacity to do this right now and give it my all. Okay. Yeah, pulling up the video. One sec. The disembodiment. Yeah, show off that menu. Yeah, it looks, I mean, just already, like, that looks pretty good. Like, yeah, nice animation. Yeah, that animation looks great. That looks very, like, slick and fluid. I'm into that. Oh, nice. Yeah, you got, like, a combo system. Really nice touches, too, just, like, on, like, the ground with, like, the dust sort of being kicked up as you run. Is that your animation? How is that working? Is that like just all hand-drawn cells? I mean, it flows really well for being like hand-drawn cell style. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Just like very, yeah, like fighting, like as exactly as you said, like just more fighting game mechanics in sort of a side scroller. Oh, I saw your debug menu. No, go back. Are those just parallax speeds? Those look like they're parallax speeds for the backgrounds. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. The animation looks really, really nice. Is this the final art style? Like this sort of like grayscale thing, or is this just like while you scrub, or like while you sketch things in and get it mechanically working? Like it looks like you're sort of hinting at some color in the character portraits. Yeah, that's cool. I was also just fascinated at what YouTube serves up when I'm not signed in. It's definitely knows I'm in Indonesia. Funny that it serves up Indonesian rap battles. It's funny. But yeah, that's really cool. The actual background art is the same that did the main menu art. Backgrounds will be the same style. Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's really, really, really... Sorry, and that was Unity based? And I know we talked about this before, imagine, but... Yeah, jog my memory a bit. Yeah, it's Unity. I've worked with Unity for like 12 years already. Yeah. Yeah, same. I started Unity like 2011, I think. Yeah, that's my thing too, with just tools and like technical foundations. Like, yeah, just you build up that script library for years and years and years and a way of doing things that you just know works. It's really hard to switch off it. Like, I think I might try to do an Unreal game after this, after Dystopika. Yeah, I even debated doing Dystopika and Unreal at one point, but I can just work so much faster in Unity, and this is a project I need to finish relatively quickly. Like, I like I haven't worked in like a year. Like, I need some income again, especially like I can't even go home now. Like, so yeah, I'm kind of sticking to what I know so I can get it done quick. Yeah, I remember we talked about like, yeah, Unity tool dev. Yeah, blueprints is like the one thing I'm a little uncertain about. Like, I went through a similar thing with Unity. Like, I worked with Playmaker for a long time in my earlier games, and I still like Playmaker if like I'm not the only designer. Like, I'm trying to build more designer tools. Like, it's easier for me to just build like Playmaker actions and hand it over to people. But I'm the same thing with a lot of node-based stuff. It's just, it seems way easier to just write it. Like when I look at like making a for loop in blueprints, it's just like, I'd rather just write that. But some people like it. I don't know. And like, I guess Playmaker is a little bit different. Playmaker is more of like a purely just a state machine. It's not really node-based programming, which I think like compared to like Bolt, like I think that's why I like Playmaker a bit more. It's a little like, you're still doing a lot of scripting, but you're still doing a lot of scripting, but I like hooking up state machines with nodes. That I like a bit more, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me just remember what the hell I was doing here. Right. So I was talking about collision too. Yeah, shader graph, absolutely. I can't visualize shaders in code. I was trying to remember when the last time you were on watching the stream, but I've added a lot of stuff since then, I think. Like, I've got this billboard brush now, which is kind of fun. I'm just expanding on that a little bit. So you can apply it to more things, but the idea is you can sort of just paint light wherever you want it on the towers. Kind of fun. Next, I want to like have it be able to paint the ground tiles and add lights there as well. So that's where you get more of like the volumetric billboards. I also need to work out how you erase these, I guess. Like right now you can add them, but you can't delete them. So I need to figure out the other side of that tool. So it could just be like there's just two modes for this brush, like add and erase. Or do I try to like unify it with the delete tool? Like, oh, I just hover over the tile and I can delete the whole thing. Or can I then hover over specific billboards? I'm not super jazzed. Like, I'm not super jazzed about that approach, because it's like, oh man, then I gotta do like a ton of like every mesh or every billboard's gonna have a collider, and I'm just thinking about how big these cities are gonna be, and all of a sudden there's like hundreds and thousands of colliders between the tiles and the billboards. So I don't know, maybe just a erase brush would be better. Are you planning on adding like interactions when one finishes the city, like other mechanic on top of the already created city? I don't think so. Like, I think the game loop, as it were, is fairly simple. It's very like just townscaper inspired. Like you sort of build the thing, and then the opposite side of that game loop is like, and then you sort of get to play with it and take photos of it and just enjoy that vibe for a little bit. Like that's sort of what I have in mind. It's very purely a creative outlet. There are some things that I've thought about, like long term for what you can do after the city is kind of built. Like I have some ideas for like narrative events. Like I don't know, I'm calling it sort of like this mega structures idea where, like in the way that like when SimCity will pop up, like, hey, I'm dude from whatever corporation and we'd like to build you an airport. Like once the city gets to a certain size, it triggers those narrative events, and it'll be like the ocean is rising and we need to build a wall through your city. So it'll like, destroy a bunch of your tiles and make this sort of winding sea wall, like the thing in like Blade Runner 2049. And then the other half of your city sort of like goes dark and like water starts to sort of creep up. So just like these narrative events that like radically change the shape of your city. There's no like gameplay to it. It's more just like, hey, you've unlocked a unique visual event that entices you to explore and come back and try to build different cities and get different styles. But that's sort of like big long-term thinking that I'm trying to put at the back of my mind. I think the real like extended gameplay loop is just building mod support and letting people put other stuff in the game, and also letting people build game mechanics if they want. So exposing like some of the underlying systems through an API, so that if you wanted to, you could like use the game's built-in like density maps and like zone maps to build actual like game mechanics if someone wanted to build like an actual like city management simulation. You're a sucker for SimCity? Yeah, like this is when I first sat down, it's kind of like I like Townscaper but Cyberpunk, but I also really like SimCity 3000. And like there are those narrative events in SimCity 3000, like for the castle and like the haunted house, and like, oh, we want to build you the mayor's house. So that was kind of like what I was thinking with like narrative events. But I'm really trying not to get too carried away with making a full like game, because I really want it to be the same sort of value proposition that Townscaper makes. Just it's a fun little creative toy for like $6, As much as I'm tempted to add like layers and layers of features, I really am trying to like get this out, keep it small, and then move on to a bigger thing. And hopefully mod support will give people an avenue to do more things with it. So yeah, like I've made some early kind of like, what am I, not Ubisoft Connect, Sublime. Oh, because I already had it open. Hang on. So like there already is some inklings of the mod support. Like there already is a lot of things that are just nice like XML config files. And there's like, a manifest of like the different zones you can build in the game, and all the tiles that's allowed in those zones and things like that. So this is right now just my internal tooling, just so I can quickly swap in different prefabs and like change the weights of the RNG and things like that. But I'm hoping that it's setting a good foundation for people to be able to bring stuff in later. Like obviously modders can do all kinds of crazy shit. Like they don't need this kind of support, but just for like building in different building types, for building like, I want to add a different zone to a game, I'm trying to make that pretty easy to do with just, you make one of these sort of manifests and you just point it at the prefabs you want to spawn. And I'll probably make some, like, I think you'll just build the mods in Unity and export it into like an asset bundle or something, and I'll import that. But that's a bit further down the road, but there is like a good foundation, I think, for a lot of this stuff. Just in this like simple XML config files. But yeah, this is why I didn't go like the full route that Townscaper did. Like Townscaper does a lot of like procedural meshes and like sign distance fields and wave function collapse algorithms. which is like really cool. It makes for like a really like fluid, simple like building a town experience. But it's not super mod support friendly because like users can't just say, "Oh, I want to just put this game object in." Like, no, it has to fit into the whole like procedural mesh system and all the side distance field stuff. So I'm trying to keep it very like modular, just game objects. Spawning game object prefabs with different weighting and data inputs like zones and density to create the city so that people can just build an asset bundle in Unity to change the game objects. And then there's like the environment as well, like some of the stuff I'm doing in photo mode, like even just like the filters. Like I'd love to maybe change like the environment and like swap out mountains so you can sort of start a city in like Blade Runner style, or you can start in like Dune style, and eventually like you pick a city theme at the start. So yep, lots of things, but just trying to, I have a very bad habit of like making games that are too big, and I'm trying to keep this one as tightly scoped as possible. It's already kind of gone beyond what I originally planned anyway. Cool, man. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad people are into it. Just scope it correctly. Yes, that's why we are doing. That's why I'm having a Jira Monday, just to go through the things I have to do for a demo and force myself to ignore the things that don't need to be there. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that. It seems like people are really into it when they see it. So I feel confident that if I can just get some of the marketing right and get it in front of enough people during Next Fest, it'll do all right, and hopefully like fund a bit of a roadmap for this project. So like being able to like really go ham on the mod support, and hopefully fund like my next game, because I've got other stuff brewing that I want to tackle. This game is just really about like building a stable avenue of income to do the digital nomad thing, because I'm finding that this is kind of too extreme a remote situation for most game studios. So just trying to do it myself. Will you self-fund the whole process? I think we'll see what happens at Next Fest. I don't know. If it does well, that puts me in a good position to work with a publisher potentially. But also, if it does well, like, do I need a publisher? Like, I can keep working on this solo for a while, but I don't know. There's definitely some paid people I would love to bring into the project. So I don't know. I think it's a consideration coming around to Next Fest. I've had like some light conversations with publishers. Like there is a deck that is floating around. I think it's just there's sort of a conflict between like, I want to finish and ship this game in 2024, whereas most of the publishers I'd want to work with, their entire slate is full for the year, so they can't really add anything until 2025 for a release date. Am I doing some work for someone else right now? No. I am like, I've been open to work and like asking about work here and there, just some part-time consulting and stuff. I did some earlier this year, but then all the game layoffs started happening, and it's been a little slow. I've even debated going back to like, most of my work's been like tech, like senior UX designer type things. So I'm looking at going back to that, but yeah, I don't know. It's been a bit interesting to navigate. And every time I think about like, okay, I gotta go and like, let's get the portfolio back up, like updated and put together and start applying for jobs. It's like, actually, I think like the best thing to do for like getting back to some income is just finishing this game, because it's so close. You love implementing UI. Terrible at designing it. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I like designing it and I like implementing it. It's like one of my, like, even just in dystopika, like you can sort of tell, like, when I need a break from complicated stuff, I'll go in and just like polish UI things and make them look good. And yeah, I love doing UI stuff. This isn't even like final UI, it's still kind of in progress, but yeah, like the UI is like way more polished than it should be at this stage of the game. So I think I need to clean this up a bit. Yeah, UI is the thing I need to be careful of, because I will like, there's a fine line between just like taking a break from the hard stuff and like full on like procrastinating. Like I will just refactor like this toolbar for like the third time and spend 2 days on it when it's not really essential. Yeah, I also like doing sound stuff like as a break, like just implementing music and little sound effects. Yeah, finalize your prototype soon and get some funding. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like the animation style is cool. Like that's an immediate hook for me. Like it looks very slick. So yeah, well, best of luck, man. And like having something built obviously helps a lot. Like it seems like publishers more and more are looking for the vertical slice kind of state of things rather than the gray box prototype. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens with the next Fest demo and take it from there. Like, just, it always just seems like trying to chase publishers is a waste of time, being that it's sort of 80% done, and a lot of those conversations with publishers kind of, I don't know, like they want too big a piece of the pie, even though I've done like 80% of the project so far. Like, what do you mean you're going to take 100% of the revenue right out of the gate? You didn't do anything. Foresee you'll do great. Thank you. That helps. I had like, I've had not like a full like mental breakdown, but I definitely like this morning just found myself looking at like product designer jobs and like debating like, okay, I've done enough like programming in Unity for the last decade and I've done some full stack web. Should I convert over to just like back-end developer or something just to pay some bills? And yeah, no, I just need to remember like this is the thing. This is the thing. Timing is really important. Yeah. Too soon, yeah, versus too late. Yeah, like if it's gonna be at this stage, like it would have to be a publisher I can look at and like they supported like big games that I know, and like they have like a well-established brand, like it needs to be like a Devolver Digital or something, or like a Raw Fury to do that. And I think it's purely for the marketing bump. And I think like a lot of the problem is like, because the price point of this game is like sub $10, you really have to shift a lot of units, which is, you know, risk. But I think I might do it for the next game. I think what's more likely to happen than a publisher deal is, well, like actually I think a publisher deal is possible, but I think it'll be like in the spirit of putting this on other platforms. So working with a publisher to put it on Xbox or PlayStation or something like that. Maybe even Switch, although I think it might depend what Switch 2 looks like, because I think this might be a bit heavy for the current Switch. So I think it might be more of like a platform and localization publisher type deal rather than like funding core development. And I'll just fund core development from revenue, hopefully, and just push a bit of a post-release roadmap for mod support and the narrative stuff I was talking about earlier. So like I think that, or I mean I could also look at like like a Game Pass deal potentially, but I have no idea what those look like these days. I don't know if they're as good as they were like a year ago. Yeah, marketing. Yeah, well, I think the Steam Next Fest will, I don't know, I think it'll determine how much marketing support I need. Like, if it's really struggling to get visibility, then yeah, maybe. Lucas, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, I know it's late there, but yeah, thank you for dropping by. Man, I should catch up with you. I heard you were talking to Nicholas over at National Film Board. Been chatting with him a lot lately. Yeah, I've been chatting with him a little bit just about, I don't know, potential pitches and things to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to like out that on stream. Yeah. But yeah, we should catch up soon. I'm curious to see what your team is working on. Sorry, Warner. This is Lucas from Silverstring Media, who I've worked with a little bit, and they've made some really sweet games like Glitch Hikers, and they've done a bunch of like narrative consulting stuff with like Crypto the Necrodancer and Polytron and a bunch of stuff. They're really cool people to hang out with. And actually, I think Lucas was like the last person I saw before I jumped on a plane to go to Vietnam. So I think he was like the last person I saw in Canada before I left. Yeah, Time Spinner, Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. Yeah, lots of awesome stuff. Oh, your internet failed. I mean, maybe I'll let Lucas fill that in. You could probably pitch it better, but yeah, lots of narrative consulting. But they've also built a lot of their own games, like Glitch Hikers with Fellow Traveler. Actually, I ran into and met Christopher Wolf at a conference here in Bali. It was like the Indonesian Game Developer Exchange, and he was up here. And actually, yeah, I think I introduced myself, and it was just like, oh yeah, I know like the Glitch Hiker team back in Canada. Yeah, we were in a Steam panel with some of the folks from Steam, just talking about features and stuff. He was definitely one of the smartest people in the room, for sure. He spearheaded a bundle of Glitch Hikers starting tomorrow. No, advertise away. Advertise away. Yeah, he was definitely a smart dude. It was kind of like it was very random. Just that there happened to be a massive like game developer conference in Bali this year, and that like folks from like Steam were showing up, and yeah, and like Chris was there, and a bunch of other studios. It was nice. I was missing GDC a lot this year. Southeast Asia's been good. I mean, I haven't left. It's I mean it's settled down a bit. I'm mostly in Bali in Indonesia just because I have a partner here now, and we live here, and cost of living is good, and it gives me lots of room to work on this stuff. It's definitely been it's definitely been stressful on the money side. Like it's been like a year of I've just been working on this, and I'm finding out that it's a lot harder to find remote work than I thought it was. But it's okay. Dystopika is coming along great, and it's gonna fund my lifestyle, hopefully. But yeah, it's been great. I'm going to Vietnam in a few weeks just for my next visa run. Gonna meet up with friends there, and might be in Thailand for a bit. That's my normal sort of visa run spot. I'm also just waiting to find out if my partner, she might be leading. So she actually does like logistics for digital nomads like me. That's how we met, and she might be leading a group on a 4-month Asia tour where they start in Bali for a month, and then I'd follow around, and like we go to Osaka for a month, and then Vietnam for a month, and Thailand for a month, which would be a lot of fun just to sort of get out and get a bit more active on the flight paths a little bit, because mostly just a homebody in Bali these days, and I kind of miss like running around and traveling, doing new things. Yeah, the industry's been rough. Like I've even just considered going back to like tech UX just to make some money. Because it seems like just more traditional tech stuff is way more friendly in the remote space. Like I think games is still like only sort of remote friendly. Like a lot of places I talk to still want me to be in North America time zone wise. Yep. But yeah, it's been a year of very positive change for sure. I have no regrets about getting rid of everything and leaving Canada. And it's just made it so much easier to pursue the creative work. I mean, I guess I still have like that flexibility. Like I can still go after Ontario Creates and Canada Media Fund if I want. Yeah, man, I'll do that. Let's catch up. I'm excited to hear what your team's working on these days. And depending on how this dystopika thing goes, there might be some narrative stuff coming up on it as well. And I'd still like to go back to Deerstalker at some point. Deerstalker was like a... Sorry for everyone else. Deerstalker was like a Carmen Sandiego in space kind of thing. And we were working with Silverstring a bit, just on some early narrative work. But funding became a bit of an issue on that one. Yeah, I'll flip you an email for sure. Funding became a bit of an issue. Yeah, I think I think that was definitely the project that made me like, I think I'm gonna do the next thing without Canada Media Fund. But I mean, I hope things are well at Silverstring. Yeah, and yeah, please don't stay up late on my behalf. My sleep schedule is already messed up. I don't wish it on anybody. Yeah, all right. Good to see you. Yeah, they're good people. They're good people. I'd like to work with them again. The drop of the hat. I would love to work with them. Their technical director is also amazing. Like, got me started on a lot of more advanced things in Unity, like dependency injection with Zenject and reactive extensions for Unity. Like, just, I don't know, opened my mind just with a few conversations. And now I use like dependency injection on everything. Yeah, awesome people. That was awesome. That was good to see. Good to see, Lucas. Okay. All right, back to this Jira task I've been trying to fill out for about an hour now. Okay, so tile collision. Tile collision. So I think this is what I'm gonna do with that. So the tile collision problem. Let me just actually delete some tiles here. Tile collision is what happens when you try to put a tile inside another tile. Do I care about this? Do I... Oh, what's this? Okay, we're gonna have to go back and look at that in a bit. That's really weird. What's it trying to do? Delete tile. Not sure what that was, but yeah, so there's this scenario where, like, do I care if users can do this kind of thing? If I do make this collision, like, if I make this impossible, I also need to consider cases like this. Like, when you drag a building up, it gets bigger at the base, which, like, should that push buildings aside? Should it delete those tiles? Because, like, that even opens up other edge cases. Like, what happens if there's, like, another tile right there? If it's pushing it back, like, is it going to push the other one as well? And then I'm basically just running a whole, like, rigid body simulation for the tiles at that point. So I think I'm just going to say, like, I don't care. Like, if users want to combine... Sorry, users. I've been... Players. My UX brain still calls people users. I think it enables a bit more creativity. Like, you can sort of combine buildings in interesting ways like this, and like, these are placeholders, but you can sort of craft a bit of your own architecture. The only caveat being, like, if you paint on billboards, they get weird and overlappy, and I don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep it. I think I'm just gonna say, like, I don't care. I just don't care. Like, I'm gonna allow for overlapping tiles, lapping. Whatever. Done. Decision made. Get that out of here. See how that plays out at Next Fest if people absolutely think it's ridiculous that you can overlap tiles like that, then I'll revisit it. Snap visualization. This is another annoying thing that I also might just cut. The idea being that I can turn on snapping and oh, it's not even working properly right now. It does work when I move it. Visualization is causing all kinds of weird issues. So I'm tempted to just not do the visualization. Like, I think it's okay to like have it snapped when you move. And I do like that you can sort of snap it to certain units, and I do like that it's snapping to every 45-degree angles. So I think I'm just going to get rid of the visualization and fix whatever. Like, I think when you first place a tile, it doesn't snap it. Yeah. I think I'm just going to do that. And maybe add a, I don't know, some sort of indicator that it's on, like a little more obviously. Okay, I'm just gonna move to the backlog. Next Fest demo constraints. I need to make a decision around this. Yeah, this is, I feel like I've talked about this one on stream a few times now, but it's an interesting problem how to form a demo for a game like this, because it's not just like, oh, it's the first hour of gameplay and that's it. Because like the value proposition of a game like this is here's a fun creative thing to play with for like 20 or 30 minutes at a time. So like that kind of time is the amount of time you put in a demo. So I think it's going to be time limited in some way, but it's also going to be feature limited. Like, I'll probably take out saving and loading, but do I want players to be able to bring saves over to the full version? I don't know if I want to promise that, just because, I mean, like, if you messed around with save data before, like, things could change in how that works, and I couldn't, like, do the work to make sure it's compatible with both, but, like, what makes it hard is it's randomly generated and depends on the seed. So like if the save file has like a building like with these billboards and like this specific configuration, that's because of the random generated seed, and then it does all those calls to random to spawn all those things in the same order when you load it from a save. So if I have a save with, you know, seed that produces a certain building back in the original demo, if I even just like add another like billboard, and now that array is bigger that has to randomly select from, the entire RNG is going to be different. So I don't know how to make it fully what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for, but probabilistic. I don't remember, but yeah, it's not going to produce the same tile. So I don't know if I want to promise that. Maybe I can just like keep the save files without telling the user and then magically import it later, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well that's something I need to decide this week, and I need to decide what the building types are going to be. I have an artist friend who's like helping out with some like larger improvements to the way the buildings are created, but I don't think that's going to be done in time for demo, and I don't want to pressure them because it's like the holidays and it's a volunteer gig, but I do need to decide what volume of buildings are going into this demo, because that's sort of the big piece I need to tackle. Is I've been working with my placeholder buildings. I need to build a whole new set of buildings for the demo, and I don't know how big that set's going to be. And that also means I'm going to be diving into Blender for the first time in a few months, so I'll probably need to do a bit of a refresher there. And I don't know, that might be a fun thing to do on stream, but I need to do the refresher first. Otherwise, it's just going to be being like, what do you mean, like, move is G? Like, I need to beat the Unity keyboard shortcuts out of my brain a little bit and get back in the Blender headspace. Add actual buildings to elevation config. That's what I just talked about. XML tile config to groups. Refactor of game toolbars. Oh shoot, I meant to do this before going live today. Just add my live announcements to Steam, the Steam page as well. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. This bug. Save file images or JPEGs. Yeah, I think this is, I switched the screenshot types from PNG to JPEG, and that's messed up the load screen, I think. Yeah, it's not loading these anymore because it's looking for the wrong file type. I guess this doesn't matter because, like, the demo is not going to have any loading or saving, so. Let's put that in the backlog. Please and thank you. Refactor of game toolbars. That's, I don't know why I put this in for last week. I'm actually kind of embarrassed at how little actually happened last week. But okay, let's go check my backlog. There's going to be a bunch of new things I'm going to need to create here, though. Actually, let's just go back to the board. And let's clear out my done column. I think I turned off edge panning entirely. No, there's the grid. Let Ryder do his thing. I need to have like a few UI days at some point. Okay. There's a few things I want to do here. I want to add ground tiles to the light brush. Add tool to remove light sources via light brush. This is also coming up soon. Where was it? I saw it. Oh yeah, add the wish list. Build, or hang on, that's a terrible ticket. Who wrote this? Add demo build mode script defines in menu option. So I actually need to build my build tooling. Let's remove snap visualization. This is a bug. Tile doesn't snap. When snap is on, add notification message snap on off. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of tweaking to the snap tool this week. I need to probably get into at least some art back in the game and get it all hooked up to the new systems. I should decide all the buildings that are going to go in, and I should decide on the demo build constraints. So maybe today, do I want to do programming today, or do I want to do design work today? I think I'm just going to do a couple of light programming things. Like I might just do the snap cleanup, because I feel like that's a quick win, and maybe getting my build scripts together for demo mode. Oh, I need to change early access modal to demo modal and write copy for that. That's the next fest demo. That's for the next fest demo. That's for the next fest demo. That's for the next. This is all for the next fest demo. It's literally the only thing that matters right now. Ooh, that may not matter. Actually, yes, it will. Sorry, this one, the XML tile config to groups is kind of a new design change that I've made. Because the way it works right now is, let's see, in the commercial tiles, when it builds a tile, it basically builds a continuum of prefabs. So randomly selects from this first list when the prefab is first made and at 0 elevation, and switch this around. Where did that go? And then pick something random from the next list, and like basically it's randomly selects what prefab to use at each elevation. And right now it's kind of built just to be one big pool, but talking to the artist, I think we came up with a very good idea to unify it a little bit, so there can still be some randomness, but they still have a thematic relation. So like you place a tile and it's an apartment building, you don't want to drag it up and then like, oh, now it's a police station. Like, oh, now it's like a big bank tower. Like, oh, now it's like a big communications tower. Like, they should have some sort of like thematic evolution, like small apartment building, big apartment building, really big apartment building, like big condo tower, just so it feels like you're pulling up the building type. So it's more like a Pokemon evolution than a completely random generated thing. So I have to change a little bit about how this data structure works, and like basically I need to be able to do like tile theme equals like apartments or whatever, and just create the means to just have themed sets rather than one big pool of potential buildings. So it's kind of like zones and then subzoning. But this discussion with the artist really, I think, really solidified how the tiles are going to work now, because I was struggling with this idea of like districts, or I was originally calling them zones. Like I was following sort of the SimCity idea of, oh, you select like commercial and you place commercial zones and it creates commercial buildings, and then you select residential and you select industrial. But it wasn't the right like model for it. It wasn't the right mental model. And the artist, I think, gave me the idea to do like districts. So they're themed districts that are like have these like isolated communities of like industrial and residential, and it's just like, oh, it's like the downtown district or like the slums district. So they can like blend all of those types of industrial, residential, and commercial around a theme. And I think that's gonna be a little more creative. I think it's gonna be a little more open in terms of like what can go into a zone. It's more of a thematic idea than like some like rigid city planning. So I'm stoked on this idea on districts, but I think that's what's holding up the demo content, is I need to decide exactly what of this district system am I going to put in for the demo, And when I think about that, the timeline starts to look a bit, a little bit scary, just a little bit. So, but it was a good exercise just to sort of go and hammer out this sort of architecture, or just like what the information architecture is and the mental model for these tiles is going to be. And that was sort of the starting point for like how the light brush was going to work, stuff like that. So, but yes, very nervous, very, very nervous about the timeline, especially since I'm about to go off to Gili Islands for a few days and not work. Nervous laughter, nervous laughter. I was opening up Rider for a reason. I don't remember what that was, but we'll come back to that. But changing that data structure should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, holidays are coming. Too much work to do. Yeah. But I'm gonna try to force myself to take a little bit of time off. It's really hard to do work in Gili. Really hard. Like, you're kind of... It's a place that just forces you to relax at gunpoint, almost. So I don't know, maybe I'll bring a notebook, but I'm not bringing my work laptop. But I do have a gazillion things to do. Okay, so... Ooh, I need to... Oh wait, this will go on the backlog. I must remember to do that before Next Fest. Because some people have been helping out now. Just casually. Yeah, I feel like that's what games does to you. I have a very hard time not working. For me, not working is starting to work on future, like, fun creative projects for the future. Like, it's starting the fun work on my next game or something. Like, I can sit on a beach, but I have to be, like, researching something from a book or, like, sketching out a game design concept. Like, I can't just, like, do nothing. Like, doing nothing feels wrong, you know? It hurts my brain. Actually, these new vertical holographics are probably coming up soon. That's weird. Music just hiccups a little bit. I keep looking over at these new overlays that I did, and I'm just like, is this too on the nose for guy working on Cyberpunk game? I do like having Winamp up there, though. Winamp, that makes me feel good. But the color of the Winamp thing is a bit off. Let me look at that quickly, because I'm an insane perfectionist. Oh, no, not that way. There we go. That's a little more the right color. I'm not procrastinating at all. Okay, so let's maybe just do a couple little programming things. I think I'm just gonna get the snapping out of there. Like, I'm just gonna turn off the visuals entirely for now, which maybe the best way to do that is just turn it off entirely in the cursor, which, hang on, how is this even working right now? And yes, I also learned that I can add a background image to Rider, which is great. Because I think one of the things I've noticed streaming is people coming in definitely depends on like what I'm looking at. And if I'm just looking at Rider for like an hour straight, it's not grabbing a lot of people. So if I flip over to Unity and like show the game, that seems to hook people in. But I'm trying to, yeah, background image here, so it shows a bit of what I'm working on, a bit more visual interest. But we'll see if like my brain is already kind of like, wait a minute, why do I not? I feel like I'm in art mode, not programming mode. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at the snap visuals and just what they're doing. Enter states. This is just, maybe I should do this at hang on, let's just maybe simplify it and I'll come back to it later. Let's just see if it's let's just hide it on start and call it a day. Where's my one now? Okay. So this should kill the visuals for snapping. Or not. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm just going to straight up turn this off and just see if the UX still makes sense. I think the UX still makes sense. If I need to disable some of the stuff I was doing when it's snapped, like when you are not snapped, it moves 1-to-1, but when it's on, it does a little bit of lerping on the cursor. Hey, Unity Coder, welcome back. It is good to see you. As a coder, I'd probably prefer seeing code more clearly, though. Yeah, probably more interesting with casual viewer. We'll see. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, this is already, like, messing with my brain a little bit, but yeah, just sort of minor observations from last week's streaming and when people were coming in and looking at, you know, what software and game development looks like during the day. Like yeah, like Twitch. Or just what Twitch in general looks like these days. There's me. But yeah, it's just a lot of people looking at grayish screens. Looping trailer video in this in some corner. Yeah, I could try that. Could try that out. Actually, yeah, we can try that. Let me see if I can get that working quickly. And then I can revert my Rider back to something that doesn't scramble my brain. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe let's here. I'll add the trailer, but I want to try this just for a little bit. Maybe just get over the initial hump of like overloading my brain. Maybe it just sets like the mood for me a little bit, like gives me a bit of a cyberpunk vibe. Okay, so where is media file? Add a new source. Game trailer. Add source. And now I get to remember where I've saved it. Sorry, that's taking over my full screen. And probably very loud. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Let's see here. What else can I do here? Let me just see if I can get it at least just a little lined up with the visual style. Color channel. Sorry, I'm just messing around with OBS over on the other side here. Why did that get rid of that altogether? Oh, because it's not looping. Hang on. Loop. Yes, I did this trailer. And thank you. Yeah, it's I was really happy with how it turned out. Warner Man, yeah. Yeah, sorry, you said you were going for a shower a while ago and then I kept you talking, but yeah, man, good to see you. Thank you for chatting. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night, and yeah, your prototype's looking great, man. Hopefully you can get it into that publisher funding space, because yeah, it's awesome. It's possible to record videos in the game itself. Like, do you mean for like what we're doing right now, like just getting a video going, or like actual as like a game feature to record videos? Let me just finish getting this looking the way I want it to. Okay, so there we go. That's kind of the right shape. Maybe just add a... Actually, yeah, let's just keep it the shape, because I don't think I have an easy way to do it. Like add the border and things. We just try to match it to the size of my stupid face. I don't know, something like that. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. That's a good idea, though. All right, Warner, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Built-in recorder. Yeah, like actually there is a bit of tooling in there. Except I think I took it out. But like when I was recording this trailer, like I just set up like some basic tooling so I could put the camera one spot, hit I, move it to another spot, hit O, and then I could hit P to like just have it move from one to the other. To record footage. There's no reason I can't put that back in. I think I'm mostly just... I need to look into what it's gonna mean to like export video, and you know, what does it mean to include something like FFmpeg in the build? Like, are there licensing issues around that? I would love to do like a GIF capture. That might be cool. maybe without all like the camera placement and stuff, but if you could like, if I could do something slick, like you place the camera, like I just want to capture like a GIF and like it'll just like, I don't know, record that and maybe like blend it so you have like a nice looping GIF of like like a cityscape or something. I don't know. I think that's kind of in the same boat as like people have been asking if there's going to be an FBX or an OBJ export. Like, can I export my city and bring it into Blender or something? It's like I'd love to, but it's kind of a bit deeper in the to-do list right now, at least. But yeah, the video recorder would be cool for sure, because I do also want to look at Wallpaper Engine. I've never used Wallpaper Engine, but I'm kind of curious about like what that needs, like file format wise, for bringing stuff in. For people who use Wallpaper Engine just to make their own like ambient cyberpunk cityscape things and plug it into their Wallpaper Engine system. So I want to do a bit of research there, but yeah, it's interesting to see there's a lot of like requests for export tooling in various formats and things, and I guess that comes with it being like a more of a creative tool than a game. But yeah, it's an interesting idea for sure. Okay. See, now I start to wonder if this is going to be... Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this. But I'm also, like, now I'm worried about the trailer blocking what I'm working on a little bit. I'll leave it there for now. Maybe there'll just be a better place to put it later. Or maybe I should just do this. Okay. I'm at least going to turn this down a little bit. Like, I'm just going to at least turn this background. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little better. Okay, so... yeah, snap visuals, I'm just going to turn off for now. I think what I want to do is add some better UX feedback here. So where's my grid snapping button? Oops, I'm in edit, or I'm in play mode, which I do not want. So I think I'm just gonna add, I'm gonna plug this into the notification system. Like this little text notification, like, hey, you saved, or hey, you took a screenshot, that I'm using as sort of a stopgap for a bunch of UX feedback, and I think this might be a good spot for that as well. UI service is already here. I think is where I'm doing this. Or not? Okay, where am I doing this? Guess I need to look at the save service. Oh, wait, is it the signal that's triggering this? On save signal, on user screenshot signal. Yeah, where is it triggering these? Where's it triggering these notifications? Sorry, the notifications I'm talking about, just so I'm not rambling nonsense. So the notifications that I'm talking about is if I go like take a screenshot or something, these guys, these little text notifications, there's just a nice notification stream somewhere, and I can't remember where I put it. Maybe notification installer, notification handler. So how does this get stuff? It's just doing. I have some regrets. It's taking this out of the signal bus. Taking this out of the signal bus. So I'd have to make a signal class for this. I'm just deciding if I want to keep this pattern or if I want to do it some other way. Maybe it's staying with this pattern, but maybe I just actually need to go and add a generic signal class of some kind. So I could do, oops. Like, where would I put this? What would be a logical place to put this? UI service. I guess, hang on, what actually goes into one of these? So, what's an on-save signal? It's the file location. Yeah, I guess I'll just do it that way. So plus, oh no wait, it needs a message of some kind. Public string message. Public. Just do that. The generic notification type. Then let's hook up here. Subscribe IUI service dot no notification signal on generic notification. That this down, I think. And let's also unsubscribe. Oh, I should probably update my task. Great snapping fixes. Okay, so let's grab this. Basically the same. Unclicked. Doesn't do anything. Destroy. Notification, initialize and play. This is going to be the message. What's the other one called? Item prefab. I think that's just the generic red one. Yeah, okay, so do that, and then let's go back to the toolbar. Go away. Go away. Go back to the toolbar, and where am I doing this? Oh, actually, sorry, I just remembered one thing that I need to have here. It needs to be fixed. Move. What's the other thing? Move, rotate, etc. Should not stop when mouse occurs on toolbar. There's a bug when you're rotating, and because rotating is left and right, if you go over the toolbar, that just triggers a bunch of logic that should not be there. Like it's when you're doing work with a tool. So like actually in the same way that like the camera right now, like if you're in the middle of doing a camera rotation or a camera pan, it'll ignore the UI hovers in a like camera is doing work flag, like the user's doing something with the camera. I seem to do the same thing with the tools and do like a grid is doing work. But I need to come back to that in a bit. But I just wanted to note that because I've been meaning to add it to Jira forever because I keep forgetting about it. Okay, so this is now going to need another injection. This is going to need the signal bus injected. So I should be able to just bus. What? Oh, I already did. Oof, that's a bit rough. Bus.fire, new IUI service. Oh, why doesn't it? On notification. What did I call this? Show notification signal. Yep, so that should just do that. And just a little bit of feedback for what that button does. I actually want to use that that little notification thing a little bit more. Like I think that should be happening when you hit undo, when you hit redo. I could even put details of like what you undid and redid, and whoops, I forgot to declare. Where am I doing that? Application installer. Right, this is in the UI service. Dot show notification signal. I've already set it up to subscribe to that. Yeah, I think I just didn't set the declaration. So let's try this now. Snapping on, snapping off. Neat. Yeah, I wonder if that is something I should really lay into. Like, should I have like light brush? Like, should it places like tooltips? Should I be using this system? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so let's make the file grid tile state. This needs to be snapping. Transform position. I think this is just foreground dot position. And then if the cursor snap input is true, change this to be the foreground snapped position. I'm just going to put this on one line, I think. Normally I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know. How do people feel about this kind of thing? Because I like, you can tell by my code, like I like very like vertical, like I like vertical readability. But like this is, I think, also a product of like having like had to work in teams with like larger engineering teams with like lots of like code review and pull request flow, because this is much cleaner from a like diff tool and code review standpoint if you ever change this. But I don't know, I guess it's personal preference. I don't know, I think I like this more. So then this actually has to be the position, and the rotation needs to stay the same. I'm not doing any rotation snapping except when you edit it, so I think this is fine. Okay. So snapping. Nope, that's still not doing what I want. Definitely snapping the positions, like just the cursor positions off. I think that's because I'm doing something in on-grid state. The cursor is a bit of a cluster cuss because it's a bunch of nested state machines. Like there's the, are you on a grid or on the tile? Like there's sort of that state machine, but then if you're on a tile, like are you doing a move? Are you doing a rotate? So there's a sub-state machine there. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of very, I don't know. It's actually a very complex thing that I've managed to build from a design standpoint. Like the engineering of it's not too bad, but snapping is enabled. Do the tween thing. Transform pose. Grid position. So I think this is the same thing. Like if it's just bar position equals foreground dot position. This is gonna make the, oh wait, I'm already doing, hang on. Oh right, here I'm doing a bit of stuff to clamp it, just to make sure it's not outside of the grid. Okay. So I think I have the right idea here. It's just pose, grid position, if snapping, or if cursor snap input, pose is just grid dot snap position. I think all of this other stuff stays the same, except it's doing this no matter what. So I think that's what's going to do it. Don't need this anymore. I will say this about like the cursor, because I did refactor it. That was like a big part of streaming the first like couple of days. Is this state machine system is way better than what I was using before. Like I can add new tools very quickly, which is cool, and I'm getting like the right control over the cursor. Like it hasn't been a pain to do sort of unique little behaviors and things. Okay, so there we go. That's completely gridless. Snap on. That's on the grid now. And place a tile. Snap it up and down. Yeah. Honestly, I think I was overcomplicating it, like having like art, like showing the grid and things. I think it snapped and it just snaps it. It doesn't need the additional like visual layer. The one thing I do kind of miss is like the dots. So maybe that's not strong enough. Maybe this needs to be more like does it need to be colored a little bit? Actually, the color helps a lot. Maybe just oh no. Okay, it's gone now. I need to add an option into my editor tooling to just ignore Steam. On the bright side, though, I'm logging hundreds of hours in Dystopika. That's cool. Okay, so make that. That's a bit much. Oh, right, the position isn't moving like that. I think I'm just going to leave it out for now. And now, grid is now feature complete, essentially. Like, this is now feature done. Sorry, feature complete. That's not what I meant. This feature is now complete. Not the game is feature complete. As much as I would love that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it there. And turn these off for now. I'll leave it there in case I want to come back to it later, but I think this is just a nice simplification, like, of the snapping. It's there, it snaps things, it snaps the rotation, it snaps things up and down, snaps the move, so that you can like place buildings just the way you want. Like I can just snap these all 45 now. I don't think any snapping matters on this tool. But I do need to figure out how to delete billboards. That's a problem. But I think, okay, I'm gonna say this snapping thing is done. Let us move the card across. Wait, I did add a tile doesn't snap. That's done. Add notification for snap on off. That's now done. Remove snap visualization. That's now done. Ooh, it feels so good. So good moving cards across. I should do this all the time. I don't know, do people think Jira is overkill for, like, a solo project? I actually like it for a solo project. I don't know why. It just still feels good to me. Sorry, we're just trying to figure out where we're staying for Christmas. Okay. So, I think... What do I think? I think so many things, constantly, all the time. So much self-doubt. So I think what would make sense for today is... Hang on, what would make sense for today? I could look at grouping this in the tile config. I could start adding the lights to the ground tiles. I need to add a tool to delete the light, remove it. I think maybe just a quick win is going to be this demo mode build scripting. I think that's my choice. I'm going to do that right now. And then maybe I will start thinking about the demo constraints for next fest. Because this one's, I think, pretty easy. This is just like a give me a build script with custom defines and like... I think this is a very quick thing. What do I need? I need just Unity C# build script. So I think what I want to do is just where's my editor namespace? File asset editor. Maybe let's just add a folder build. And another thing I really need to do is, it's been a while since I've done a build. I was pushing builds regularly to Steam, and yeah, I need to do a new build. I haven't done a build of the game in a couple weeks now, which is bad. I should make sure all of this is working. Maybe that's something to do today. Trigger build. All right, 1 second. Okay, so I was doing a build script. Well, this isn't exactly it, but it's close. Let's just modify it. What am I doing here? I'm doing build demo menu. It's actually a weird name, but that's okay. Build demo menu. Why is this a mono behavior? Let's maybe just rename this build menu. So what is my script defined for the demo? Hang on, let me just go back to, how am I doing that? Application installer. And if build demo. If build demo, I define is build demo. Build demo. Or build Steam demo, and I can add more stuff here later. And build Steam full. That doesn't need that. This doesn't need the. Wait a minute. How do I? It's been a long time since I've written a build script. Editor, build settings, scenes. a wonderful time stumbling through the first build script I've had to write in about 2 years. This is fun. I guess I just need to do a loop. Yeah. So I guess just scenes. Just realized there's probably some other build tools I'm forgetting about here. Because I do, yeah, like this Steam App ID processor. I think they should be no, but the Steam demo is probably a unique app ID, isn't it? So I might need a special processor here. Build options. If report dot. What else can I get from this? Summary, build summary. Oh yeah, build options. No, wait. Things dot. When I check my script defines. Result. Should be options, but okay, I'm just not going to worry about the Steam App ID for now. I actually need to go and create, or I need to go do some stuff on Steam backend before I know exactly what needs to be done there for the demo. So let's just keep this as it was. Dystopika. Okay, so void populate scenes. Options. What? Oh, right. This is just options. Just because I'm going to need to do this a few times for every build, or for every build type's going to need to build a scene list. I'll do it here as well. So populate scenes is going to be build player options. It's more descriptive, populate scenes from editor. To do, it's going to be dystopika demo. There are build options I want here. Development. Yeah, none. I mean, I guess I should also be base. Yeah, .none, and then this one will be development, build player options, dot options, build option, build. Oh, wait a minute, build. Wait a minute. Oh, is this that? Do I want to keep? No, I'll just call it that, just in case. Location path name. Okay, so what's my? I have some tools in there already. What did I call them? Menu items. I was dumb. Voids. Okay. Do it like that, nice and simple. What is going on with my control key lately? Yeah, it's like it's not showing up in the... Oh, yeah. Try that. I'm just having a lot of problems with like going to do Control C, Control V, and it's not picking up the control input. I end up just deleting a bunch of code. Build full release. Oh wait, Steam release. Steam development, and this is wait, target group. Oh yeah, set scripting defines target group. But are there other script defines that need to be in there? Okay, well I've got my build menu there. It's in my build settings right now for script defines. Right, so I guess I want to do another one of these. This is just doing, it's just adding target group, fine. Will that override what's already... Will that override what's already there? It's been so long since I've done any build scripting. Like, will this, if I'm adding build demo, is that going to replace it? Or is it going to add it? Feels like this is just going to replace it. How does it want this? String defines. Symbols for this group can be passed as an array or as a string separated by semicolons. Okay. I'm just gonna play it safe. Populate defines from editor. And I probably want the target group. So let's see that, and I want to do string defines to add. And also because it's player settings, like, is it going to revert back later? Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait and do the rest of this build stuff off stream. Like, I need to test some builds. I need to refine this build script a little bit, just make sure it's doing all the right script defines, and that's boring to watch. That's really boring to watch, and I don't want to sit around waiting for builds with you guys. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. I'm gonna continue this later when I'm off stream, and maybe we have to do a bit of funkiness here, but I got it started. It's just a matter of going through and getting this set up the way I want. So I think what I'm gonna do instead is hop over to a bit of design. So going back here, so I'm gonna just add this to blocked for now. So I need to figure out what the constraints are on the Next Fest demo. So where do I want to do that? Let's just go over here and just do demo constraints, demon constraints. Steam demo constraints. So I want different music. This is not the vibe I want right now. Oh yeah, I hit this. It's the same every time. I hit this Ape Escape mix, and it's the same part every time. I'm just like, this is too like Mario Brothers for where my head's at. Let's just do this. Actually, no, let's go here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so remove saving and loading. Limited zones or limited districts. Time limit. Time limit. I could take out photo mode. I don't know what else I can do reasonably, because yeah, it's not like the only limit I potentially have is stopping at a certain time, in which case I guess that, I don't know, does it end the demo? Does it just start a new city? Could it be like you have like a 10-minute timer on the city building, and then you go into like photo mode, and this is unlimited, but you can't edit anymore. I'm trying to write with the mouse and it's not working. And then you go back to here after, then you can build another city in 10 minutes. Actually 10 is maybe 15 instead. Or is it just 15 minutes for the whole thing? Like, I don't think photo mode should be, oh actually that's another limited photo mode options. I mean, that's probably going to happen anyway because I don't have time to add more of them before this demo is done. Oh, I'm out of water. big. Steam demo planning. Is there no dark mode on FigJam? Okay, so what I'm thinking is start the game, get the demo modal. Oh, also Trello feedback. This is actually an interesting question that I don't know the right answer to. So it's this idea of there's a feedback mechanism in the game that you can pull up with F8 or pressing this button. And when you send this feedback, it goes directly to a Trello board. Actually, let me just see if that's even working right now. Because I haven't done anything in a while. Trello, logging in. Log in. Yeah, it looks like no one's submitted anything recently. Well, there's some of it. But the idea being I should be able to, you know, wow, cool game, man. And let's just, so I can see it here, let's submit it there. Sending feedback. Feedback received, thank you. And if I go back to, yeah, so there it is. So really useful. I love this for the private beta tests and all that stuff. I'm hesitant to put this out in a demo, like a free Steam demo. Like, I'm worried for what people might do with it. I think including it in like the paid game is okay, but I'm worried about putting it out there in a free demo. Like, I feel like I want that feedback, but the place for me to receive that is like the Steam forums. So I think I might limit that for the demo. So yeah. No. Yeah, just because like I don't have a lot of control over that API, and people could spam it, and actual good feedback will be lost, or I don't know, it could be abused in a way that like it won't work anymore. I have no idea how Trello is going to react to that setup. Okay, so the demo modal. Right, that's why I make a copy without the arrow. Okay, so we have the demo modal, and then play game for 10 or for 15 minutes. Start the game. Play the game for 15 minutes. Thank you for playing. Also, can you put achievements in demos? That's probably not a good idea. I'm curious if anyone else does that though. And like, do those achievements have to overlap with the regular product ID, like do those same achievements have to be in the full version of the game? I don't know how that works actually. Like, would that be like cross-title achievements? Thank you for playing. And then this would go into like, actually maybe let's down here. Thank you for playing. Unlimited demo mode, or sorry, unlimited photo mode. And then it lets you reset and sticks you back into another like 15-minute play session. I guess the only thing I'm not sure about is what happens if you want to go to photo mode. Like, if I'm in photo mode, does this still count towards the 15 minutes? I guess players should be able to do this. They should be able to go to photo mode. If in photo mode during timed demo, continue to count down. So this would need to clearly convey what's going to happen. Reset modal, thank you for playing. Limited photo mode. Yeah, so this would be start the game. I'm going to put up a modal of some kind that says, hey, welcome to the demo. You're going to have this time demo lets you play around for 15 minutes, after which you'll be able to go into unlimited photo mode. I feel like this is hard to explain to a user. So maybe instead of explaining it up front, like just, hey, well, no. Because what I'm worried about is like, if they don't understand that they'll be able to go into photo mode after and spend an unlimited amount of time there, they might get into the game and spend a lot of time messing around with photo mode. So maybe is it better just to not allow this altogether? Like, there just is no photo mode until you're at the end, so that players don't get distracted by it. The game itself in the future won't have that separation, like you can flip back and forth whenever. I just don't want to limit photo mode because I feel like that's like a big part of the game is like sharing, like building something and sharing photos of it with people you know, like, hey, look at the cool thing I made. So I don't want to restrict that. I just want to create that feeling of like, oh, I wish I could go back and like move this building or like play around with other tile sets or whatever. But I also, like, I can't stop them from going back and make, like, I could time the demo to like 15 minutes and then that's the end of it, but that only gets written locally. Like, I don't think I can enforce a timed demo that like is resilient, like, oh, I just uninstall it and reinstall it again and that's reset because there's no player pref anymore. I mean, unless I do it as an achievement. That's okay. So let's see here. Let me just ask the question. Let me just pose the question to the internet. Can you add Steam achievements to a demo? We recommend that you, okay. Well, good news is it's the Steamworks documentation, so that's as official as you get. We recommend that you disable achievements and demos. Instead, store the saved game in this shared. Oh, share the saved game in the Steam cloud as described in the cloud documentation. Then grant those achievements on loading the game and the full game after the user is purchased. So maybe I can just do the timed demo. Like, forget all of this. Oh, and then you go into photo mode. Like, just you have 30 minutes to mess around with it. When that 30 minutes is up, just the demo's over. Or is that too cruel? Like, should he be able to? I worry about this like one-shot demo that's just like once and then you can't play it ever again. What more does Steam have to say here? Steam has the ability to provide free demos for your customers so that they can try before they buy. It's up to you whether or not a demo will be beneficial for your title, but there are a couple of useful things to consider. Quality. Customers are generally using the demo to make a purchase decision for your game. Make sure that what you put out there is high quality and measures up to the real experience. Timing. When you release your demo is also important. We generally recommend waiting until launch, but there are circumstances where putting a demo out prior to release is effective. If, for instance, you feel like customers need to touch the game to really understand it, then a quality demo prior to release can be useful. You need to balance giving the customer enough content to get them excited without giving away so much that they feel like they've experienced everything the game has to offer. Okay, so demos are a separate app ID, so that means I need to figure that out in the build pipeline. The demo will need to be configured with depots and builds created just like a full app. The demo will live on the game's base game store page as a button where users can download. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. To work properly for your customers, your application type must be set as demo, and the app ID of your base game must be entered in the general application settings section of the Steamworks website for your demo. Okay, so they just has to be childed to the main app. That makes sense. Primarily own. That's letting. Oh, okay. Your primary developer account will automatically own both the demo and the base game, thus only letting you launch the base game. This is the default behavior for customers too, as there's little reason to let a customer launch a demo once they own the base game. Okay, that's good to know. Because in my brain, I was thinking like once the game is out, using the demo as like a city viewer of save files, but I can't create them. But I think those might be kind of a separate application thing. To get around this and test your demo, you'll need to request keys for your demo and activate them on test accounts that do not. Okay, so that sucks. That kind of sucks. Okay, but I need to make some test accounts. You must create a second account to test the demo. Adding the demo into your default package, for example, will not allow you to test the demo and will break your ability to launch the title without getting. Okay. So don't try to hack it in. Otherwise, you need Steam support. That makes sense. Minimizing upgrade impact. There are a few things you can do to minimize the friction to upgrade from the demo to the full game. Share depots with the full app. For any content that's shared between the full app and the demo, put in its own depot and mount the shared depot. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into that level of build engineering. Like, I think I'm just, for the sake of simplicity, going to keep them separate. Share the cloud storage. Yeah, then marketing and releasing. If you wish your demo to only be available for a limited time, such as during a game conference or festival, you can deactivate and reactivate it once it's been released. Like the game or the demo? Deactivating a demo will prevent players from downloading or launching your demo. Players that already have your demo in live will continue to see the demo, so they manage that, but cannot launch it again. Okay. Can I put a demo up for my coming soon page before my game's release? Yes. Can my demo users play Steam multiplayer with my full game users? Okay, it doesn't matter for me. What if my demo consists of literally the same files as the full game? Use a shared depot. And I'll probably keep them separate. Yeah, I think we'll just keep that separate. How do I get the demo to show up on the base application store page? Special settings, blah, 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 blah. How do I remove special settings? How to remove it entirely? Disabling your demo. Okay. So I think what I'm most curious about here is, can I make it a time? Can I use Steam Cloud Storage to make it a timed demo? Like you can only play it once and then it's gone forever. Or is that a dumb idea? Because I imagine like you can probably wipe your Steam Cloud Storage, 1, and 2. I don't even know if it's a good idea to do a limited time demo like that. I do want to do it limited, I just want to run it during Next Fest, I think. I don't think I can manipulate Steam Cloud data in that way, but I can save the cities there. I mean, this just means, do I need to set up clean Steam Cloud Storage? Do I need to add that to my to-do list? Or do I need to bump it up my to-do list? I don't even know if I've added it to the backlog yet. Steam Cloud save support. It shouldn't be too bad because the save service is pretty nicely encapsulated right now. I think it's just one inheritor. So I would probably just implement it here. No, you know what? Forget it. Backlog that shit. I think I'm just gonna let go of this idea that save data is gonna move over to the full version of the game. I think it's gonna be too hard to guarantee that. It's gonna be too hard. It would be cool to put something in, but now I think it would be cool to put something in the save data, even if it's not the actual city. It just at least says like, hey, they played the demo. Should I make that an achievement? But then people get crazy about like 100%ing achievements in games, and then that could potentially be an achievement that's like for a demo that doesn't exist anymore. Like, hey, you played during Next Fest. So then the ability to get that achievement is lost forever. Or does that matter? Do I care about those people? I think given the timeline, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go of Steam Cloud support. And I think this is the way to do it. So this is just a demo where you play the game for like 15 minutes, and then you can take photo mode. You can take photos of your creation for as long as you want. And then when you either leave or go out of photo mode or leave the game entirely, it just comes back in and you have another 15 minutes. and 1 or 2 zones. Sorry, districts. And that's all it is. So I would need to make some changes. I would need to separate photo mode. Or I would just need to take away the button, actually. Actually, just take away the button. But that might be a challenge with the way the toolbar works now. Because it'll need to adjust positioning of the other buttons around it, which it's not really set up to do right now. And there would need to be, like, I would need to expand on, you know, where's the demo? Demo game daemon. I would need to expand on this a little bit. Like, what actually goes into this interface? The iApplication daemon. It's valid. I'd probably just add a reset here. Time remaining. So yeah, the time remaining probably needs to be on the game itself and not just in the settings menu. I don't know. I think I need to get some feedback on this from marketing friends just to see if this demo layout's going to make sense. And if having like this sort of restricted demo is going to be annoying or helpful. Like maybe 15 minutes is too short. Should I only have the demo up during Next Fest? Okay, so let's park that. I feel like I'm parking a lot of things today. Need to just send a bunch of emails after this meeting, or after this stream. Okay, so demo constraints blocked for now. Yeah, deciding all the building types. So this is the one I'm working on like right now, is this Old Town district, which is sort of the main look of the city. This is the like Blade Runner Ghost in the Shell district. And there's probably a bunch of tiles here that I'm gonna build. But I need to decide. I'm actually tempted to split this into 2 districts because like even like between like this and this, like I think these might be 2 different things. Like there's sort of there's the Ghost in the Shell, which is a bit cleaner, and then there's the more like Blade Runner dark and dingy kind of thing. So I might split these. Yeah, like I might just split it into like, this is one district, this is Old Town, and then this is like New Town. Which means I'm gonna have to figure out like glass and things. This is the one I'm a little bit nervous about because so much of the game's look right now is, I mean, it's, the buildings aren't in right now, but there's not a lot of like texture detail to these buildings, and it's mostly like the emissive lights that create the character. Like I'm nervous if I start adding glass, what is that? Is it gonna fit the look? Because it is like somewhat stylized the way I'm doing these windows. I don't know if full realism is something I necessarily want from this game. but just so much of the look is just like the silhouette of these buildings against fog, and all of the character is just emissive details. Fake interior shading, more features into to-do list before fest. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're talking about like the whole like, I mean, Spider-Man is the one that comes to mind, but it's been used in other games as well. Like, just sort of the faked parallax thing. I mean, I'm sure someone's just built that out of the box. What's that? His name? Simon Schreiber? Schritt? Maybe? Technical art? Yeah. This guy. Game art tricks. Or text volume. Actually, this sounds interesting. Oh, what site is this? Yeah, give me one sec. Yeah, this has like been one of my favorite, just sort of neat technical art trick sites. Except I feel like there's another one I'm thinking of too, but there's. Yeah, like. I just don't know why it's loading so slowly. But yeah, it's a really fascinating look at a lot of cool art tricks. Like this, I didn't know. But like in Homeworld 2, these background images are actually all just like vertex colored on these complex meshes, and they have this conversion tool that could take like painted photos and turn them into basically vertex color meshes, and put them on spheres, and super cool. Super, super cool. I mean, this was sort of back in a different era. But I actually used that trick on my first game, The Veil, for the backgrounds. What's another cool one? I think well, let me just see if I know the window one is here. Yeah, windows. Oh man, I hope it didn't like lose a bunch of these images. But yeah, this sort of bump offset mapping. Obviously, like this is way fancier now. This is like, this one was actually pretty cool from BioShock Infinite. This is what's cool is like it's just one texture. It really is insane how much stuff they can do with just color channels. Yeah, super cool resource for technical art tricks and things. Actually, I'm having problems with color banding. There's actually a lot of ones here I haven't seen before. I don't think I've seen the. What is this? Okay. This is another cool one, the volumetric glow in Doom 3. It does these like really cool like warping meshes to stay face of the camera, and it just does like a vertex color effect. Yeah, vertex color mesh. Super cool. Honestly, this is something I wonder if someone's created in Unity that I could use, because I do have like a lot of volumetric. Like volumetrics is the entire look of this game, and right now I'm just cheating a lot of volumetrics with like particles. Like when you like look at the ground, like these volumetric lights are. Ooh. Sorry, I just realized I don't really like the look of this brush from the side. Oh well. But like I'm spawning like lots of particles to create this, or not lots of particles. It's one big particle in each of these locations. There was some effect in GitHub for that. Yeah, if you can find it, I'd be interested. I do think my one big particle effect is... It's doing all right. I think there's just spaces I wish it was... I don't know. Less round. Like, I wish I could build... Even if it's just for the mesh of the billboards. But it does also create like a volumetric effect when you're looking away, which maybe that's another constraint, is because this is double-sided. The billboards, maybe it won't work as well. Anyways, going down an art black hole. I mean, there's a source code for WebGL implementation here. Hang on, Doom 3, volumetric, Unity. I finally switched this over to Google, by the way. I kept accidentally searching Bing. This looks like what we're looking for. Yeah, except it's cool, but now I'm starting to think like, okay, now I'm going to be running update loops on all the billboards. And this is a very... This feels a little bit chunky. This feels very chunky. For something that could be, yeah, on 100 objects doing an update loop. If I was doing this project on dots, maybe this would be less of a concern. Or, I mean, maybe you can offset this mesh work to like a compute shader. I just don't know if I have time for that. I haven't done a compute shader in years, and this is probably more complicated than that compute shader that I did. It's cool though. Here, I'll just pop this in the chat for you as well. I would like to play with this at some point. I love I love volumetrics, like volumetric light things. Like it's like in everything that I do. Store page has some volumetric lights too. Yeah, I bet it does. I bet a lot of them are just wrapping up that script. It's been like a common thing in the asset store lately, I find. Like I see a thing that sounds cool and then I find something better that's like MIT licensed on GitHub. Let's just see what's in volumetric. Except, I mean, with some exceptions. So like actually the fog that I'm doing in the game is this one. It's Budo. This is my fog system. Easy volumetric. Looks like their own implementation. Yeah, it's a little bit different. That's pretty cool. God. Not being logged into YouTube is such a nightmare. Like just what default YouTube looks like. That's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. Stop showing me Mr. Beast stuff. I don't care. Like, I don't know, maybe I can use that, like having some like skyscraper or like some like spotlight beams. Except I usually just do spotlight beams with like just like a cylinder, like a cone, and then just a texture with alpha, like a gradient texture with alpha. I mean, I guess this one is basically probably building that mesh from a light source. Maybe why there was a bake script in the contents as well. Like you can bake the mesh of a light source. Volumetric light beam. It's a good looking one too. Yeah, I think like where's the where might I have images of my first game? Kind of, well, sort of my first. I don't have any of the GIFs here anymore. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see where the volumetric. I mean, the old Windows Phone 8 version was just using image planes with alpha. Yeah, like this. It was. Oh no! They were cones. Sorry, they were cones. The Windows Phone 8 version was not amazing. There was a lot of constraints on that. And it did not have a consistent art style. Memories. Yeah. I always pick games that need lots of volumetric lights. What was I doing before that whole tangent? I was looking at demos. I was looking at this. I wasn't here. Oh, I was looking for the window effect. Yeah. Because I was deciding what things should be in the demo. So, yeah, I think I might divide this up into 2 districts. For the demo. So divide into 2. So this is going to be, this is 1, like this is 2. So that means I need to also add my district controls. I think is in the backlog still. I mean, it should be, if it is, if it was a thing I added. Yeah, I don't think it's here, so district select tool. I mean, that probably kicks off the whole redesign of the toolbar. Oh, and just have a seaside district too. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to avoid the problem of water. At least for now. There's like an intrusive thoughts part of my brain that would add some sort of terrain editing later on. Like right now it's just a static flat grid, but I don't know, maybe someday you can follow like a SimCity workflow where you can sort of like edit the terrain first and then place the city. Maybe I could do something like that, but for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna keep it flat. Yeah, so I think just a like, yeah, Old Town. This is basically just Old Town, New Town. Town, New Town. So this would be things like sort of favela style, skyscrapers turned or transformed into housing, old neon. Newtown, clean, glass, newer, the graphics. I actually wasn't. I actually don't know how I felt about like Ghost in the Shell's stuff, like the new Ghost in the Shell's art direction on the city. Like Ghost in the Shell city. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who did them. It's like a well-known art director who designed it. I feel like I even have a book of it. Let's look at this one. Like, I don't know how I felt about its holograms. But I can't describe why these didn't feel right to me. This is from the movie, right? This what I'm looking at. Maybe I need to watch Cyberpunk or not. I need to watch Ghost in the Shell. Like these ones are okay. Like the little like orb thing. Oh yeah, this is the movie. But yeah, these like really big people ones. Like it's weird. I don't like these, but I do like the big holograms in Blade Runner 2049. Why is that? Like I like the big ballerina in Blade Runner 2049. Also, I wonder if there's ways I can cheat having roads. I mean, it's still cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these big ones. What would be some cool volumetric holograms that I might be able to pull together just from asset store stuff? Like, I don't know, give me like fish. I feel like fish is a common one. But it needs to have animation. I think fish is just a common one because sushi is a thing, a cyberpunk thing. Which, I mean, it comes from a problematic, like, a lot of cyberpunk is very, like, orientalist in how it sort of makes Eastern cultures, like, exotic and different, and makes cyberpunk weird, and when it's a bit othering in a way, but yeah, maybe I shouldn't do fish. What would be another interesting thing to have as a like a volumetric hologram? That would also fit with the what's going on in here. Oh, this is just Cinti stuff. I don't want to do anything with Cinti stuff. That'll just be too obviously asset store. Enchanted Forest. That's also Cinti. God. Didn't I read something? I feel like I saw that Unity was. Oh no, Unity built a big demo project with Cinti stuff. For a second, I was like, wait, they didn't like make that available for paid Unity users, like just all these Cinti packs. I could have a big Death Knight in the middle of the city. Actually, like I feel like low poly's the right. Maybe not this kind of style exactly. I think just like simple, colorful would probably fit best. What is in a Cyberpunk Gigapack that costs $300? Oh, jellyfish. That's cool. I'm not gonna spend $300 just for a jellyfish though. I don't know, just like anytime I look at these packs up close, like just the art is just an absolute clusterfuck. Like in terms of just like the UVs, the texturing, every mesh uses like 10 different materials. They're never very usable unless you're just staging like stuff that you're gonna offline render. That's kind of cool. That's kind of like the cyberpunk style I had at my last job. A little bit different. Yeah, this probably looks like not great. Characters. I would do a fox. Maybe a panda. $50. I feel like I've become distracted. I think I might just stick with the ones I've kind of like been hacking together. Where is one of those? These guys. Bits. Vertical hollow set. Yeah, I like these guys. I mean, there's 3 different ones here. So I think what I want to do is add these to the light brush. So if you paint over the ground, it will spawn things like this. And I need to make a couple of variations of this, but I think that's kind of the idea. It's like you paint over and then these spawn up. What's, I think, yeah, it's just simple lit. Yeah, let's do that. Render faces, both. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. There is a temptation there to find some sort of volumetric thing. Presentation bundle. Yeah, this would kind of be the Ghost in the Shell feeling of these random volumetric people. Oh, I think oh wait, the stage. Is this hang on, is this the stage in Vancouver? Oh man, they have a lot of them. No, it's just LA. What's the one in Vancouver? It's gonna drive me nuts. Center for Digital Media, volumetric capture stage. Yeah, that was the one in Canada, in Vancouver. Did they shut down? Did they shut down the Canada stage? Sure looks like it. Okay, sorry. Just it was a curiosity for me because I mean I think this is the LA stage, but where they set it up in a hangar studio that I did a bunch of work in previously. Like it was set up in come on. Where do I have that stuff? Here. Oh, I don't have it on my portfolio anymore. Okay. Anyways, I did a big installation in this hangar space at my alma mater for my master's, which then became Metastage. Sorry, that's why the Metastage name caught my eye. But I guess they shut down that studio in Vancouver. Yeah, I do feel like there's just some like 3D volumetric hologram that should be animated. I feel like it should be a fish. Maybe I might even have a whale I already bought years ago. I don't know if it needs that much in terms of rigging. Actually, no, I think I have this one. The free one. Or maybe it was paid and now it's free. Or a shark? I don't know what makes it fit in the world. I don't know why some holograms make sense and some don't. What is the... This is a dumb question, but what city is in Ghost in the Shell? Like, what city is it supposed to be? Newport City. Oh, north side of, or main setting north side of Osaka, next to Kobe. Okay. I was just in Kobe, like in February this year. I mean, yeah, I guess it does look like north of Osaka. Kobe was cool. I'm sorry, my camera's getting a bit dim. 1 second. Let me brighten that up for you all. Kobe was cool. I liked... What did I like about it? It felt... I don't know, it almost felt like Mirror's Edge in a way. Like it was just down by the water. It was just like super clean, and I really liked it. I had a nice day. I only had a day in Kobe, but I really liked it. Yeah, like down in this like waterfront area. Just walked around. Yeah, maybe it was just like the red tower and like some of this white clean architecture, but it really had like a Mirror's Edge kind of vibe that I really liked. Yeah, I really enjoyed my day in Kobe. I should go back at some point. I think we had dinner like where this photo was taken from. Not dinner, but like we had drinks or something. We had dinner over like in this building here. Definitely. Yeah, this hotel we had drinks at. Yeah, I don't know. I liked Kobe. I also liked Osaka a lot. I would love to go back to Osaka next year. Anyways, my question was originally just like, where was Newport City supposed to be? Because the way it's done in like the newer movie is very, I don't know, it gives off a very like Hong Kong kind of vibe, like daytime Hong Kong. The voxeling on these holograms is kind of interesting too. Families built better. I mean, in a way, this does reflect like just a lot of the signage around like Indonesia, like politician signage, just a lot of them going like, you know, Termakasi and the best. Like, there's like Indonesian political posters. I don't quite see the one I'm talking about. But yeah, politicians just really sort of here, like really put their face on it. So I kind of understand where this is coming from. Yeah, like I don't know, like this feels weird to me, like this sort of background hologram, like overlapping the street, like it, like stylistically, like sure, it's cool, but like practically, it's kind of like blocking in a very, like it's not transparent in the way that like Blade Runner holograms are. But I don't know, like this is also retaining a lot of its sort of anime roots. Like even just the way that like the letters, like the police lettering changes and blinks. It doesn't feel super practical. I don't know, maybe I just need to rewatch it. Maybe I'm just missing like the tone setting and the atmosphere. Yeah, so like what do we got here? We got Heineken bottle. Is it a watch? Something Pan Am. What is this dude doing? Oh, he's like, oh, it's one with like the little girl, the doctor. Orb. Maybe a jellyfish is the right one. $60. Does look really good. Does look really good. I mean, a beer bottle is doable. But yeah, I gotta think about what some of these holographic displays are gonna be. These volumetric ones. Maybe I need to just do a bit of offline brainstorming. But cool. So what have I done today? I've got the snapping sorted, given it a nice on-off notification. Although I wonder if I should reverse this and like put in the corner. That's fine. I do wonder if there needs to be just like a random delay on bringing these billboards back, just so they're not all coming in at the same time. Yeah, so let me just go over what my week is going to look like one more time. Because I feel like this week is complicated because I have to do all three things. I need to do design, I need to do art, and I need to do programming. And I think I just need to pick at least two things to focus on. I think programming and design is probably the best way to go. So I'm not going to open Blender this week. But should. I really should. Like, I'd like to just at least get these placeholder buildings out of there, because if I get the placeholder buildings out, then it's a little like I can start taking like more like marketing screenshots again, and at least it's, you know, worst push comes to shove, like I can ship a demo with one district if they're okay looking, if the buildings are okay looking. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make that tomorrow's thing. I'm gonna rename this. Art. Create initial variant set based on current art style. So what that probably means is I'm just going back and using the tiles that I originally built for the old version of the game, which is also the one with the in the trailer right now. Let me see how long it takes to open this. Yeah, so it's these guys. And I've got all these pieces. Like all these pieces from like the tile version of the game. I think I just need to assemble them into some new buildings. Like just assemble my old tiles into new buildings. I can't, because I can't do that in engine. Like I can't just combine a bunch of tiles in prefab, because they need to have a unified collision mesh for the new input model. Yeah, so I think maybe I'll just go and make some buildings from these old tile sets. I need to do a look test on glass. Like, I'm worried about how glass is gonna look in this game. Like, just with the current lighting. Like, making the buildings just sort of like black with emissive highlights, like, really means I don't need to look. I don't need to deal with a lot of lighting problems, which has been very nice. So I guess maybe it's just a light specular. Like, it doesn't need a lot of like diffuse detail. It's just a little specular flash as you rotate the camera and you feel glass more in rotations. But yeah, I think I did some of it. Like, I was playing around with like solar panels, but I didn't like. There's something's gone wrong with the atlasing. Some stuff that shouldn't be there. So many things to do. It's going to be a very busy week. I think I'm going to just focus on design and art to start. I think I'll come back to the holograms later. Anyways, it's coming along. I think I've got a good sense of everything that I'm doing right now. I think, yeah, the only big thing is I need to set what buildings I'm actually going to put together for the demo. Maybe it could just be remixed versions of what I've built already. Just polished up. I think it would be really nice to have 2 district options, just to show how that would work. I originally was thinking about just 1 district, like you can't even choose it. It'll show that you can select more later, but I feel like districts is an important thing to show users. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up I'm gonna wrap up my day. It's 6 p.m. here. I'm probably gonna work on some stuff tonight, so the stream can be a little more focused tomorrow. But that's whatever. That's what I do on Mondays, is just knock off some minor bugs, organize some ideas, and see what the theme of my week is gonna be, if it's more art, design, or programming focused. And then I think as we get closer to the demo, it's gonna be more administrative. So I don't know how much of that I'll be able to show, but there is a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff, a bunch of behind the scenes things I need to do at some point. Let me just see let me just take a look at who else is streaming right now, and we'll do a bit of a wee bit of a raid, just as a treat. Polysoft. How long has he been? Oh, he's only been on for like an hour. All right, so I'm going to raid over to Polysoft Games. He's working on a UE5 building system. I'll probably hang out and see what he's working on for a bit as well. But thanks for hanging out today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for suffering through my project management day, but we're getting close. We're getting close. If you're just dropping in, this has been working on Dystopika. It's a chill cyberpunk city builder toy thing. And I'm in the process of just getting it ready for a demo as a part of Steam Next Fest in February. So just working out what demo's going to look like, trying to figure out what art's going to go in. Lots to do. I'm streaming pretty much every weekday now. I'll be back around 2 p.m. my time tomorrow. That's, I think, 1 a.m. Eastern. I live in Indonesia, in Bali, so I'm on a very weird schedule, but it's been a pleasure having you all. Let's go check out Polysoft Games and see what he's up to. If my raid button works, which it doesn't seem to be. Well, that's a anticlimax. Hmm. All right. So, all right. Thank you for hanging out today. We're gonna go raid Polysoft Games. The button seems to be working now, and see you next time.